Hi there, and welcome back. This is my face. The time is currently 12:30 a.m. I've been up for the last 5 hours, and I have done a lot more with my time. I have been a lot smarter about what I'm gonna do, and what I am currently doing. Right now, I have decided on a new format for my videos. It's gonna be every video is gonna be broken into three parts, except for like special videos. It's gonna start with essentially when I wake up, me going over the plans for the day, and then me maybe recording a few things that I do, and then at the very end of the day, I'm gonna leave like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of me just going back over the stuff I've accomplished, stuff I've read, I've programmed, and just doing it like just very briefly. I'm gonna try and keep all videos under 5 minutes, ideally, because it's pretty rambly, and the thing is not putting so much emphasis on one day. I shouldn't be putting so much emphasis on one day. It's for the long haul. It's for the next 100 days. It's absurd putting so much effort and time into one day when it's about the sum total of stuff that I do over a long period of time. And I'm ready for it. That's the thing, though. I've never been ready for it before, and now I am. And I'm just going to maintain. I'm going to maintain. I'm going to try and keep things interesting. But at the moment, let's look at what I have to do for today. Okay, so let's do this quickly. I did not make a video yesterday, but what I have done is I've clarified a few more things. And as you can see, if you've been watching my last video, one of my to-dos was to become more coherent. And what I've actually done is taken the experience from the first 3 days and sort of made myself more organized, as you might be able to see. Habits, I haven't added new habits, but I did go for a 20-minute run this morning. So I can click that off, booyah. And I did do weights, I did do that. Haven't cleaned my room, I'm gonna do that right now. But reading, and I got a little book emoji. There's an entire cheat sheet of emojis that has all these things. And just when you look at it from a glance, it helps put things in perspective. Like, when I look at this, it's not just a bunch of words and... It's not just words and to-dos. They tell me specifically what I have to do. With that little notebook means that it's a note-taking thing. It's a note-taking daily. So yeah, I have side concepts was XML, was mySQL. I have, for my Java dailies, there's this website called Quizlets. It's a website and app. All websites are apps these days. And what it does is it creates flashcards, and they have good tools on it that help you study. But I'm going to create that, create some study materials and put them all in one place. PHP Daily is more W3 school stuff. That's the website that teaches you PHP. And that's taking notes on, if you can see, like those are like the fundamental building blocks of any programming language. How it treats data types, how it treats strings, loops. Okay, I'm not looking at loops yet. I'll look at that tomorrow, but branching operators, flow control, else, if, else, and else, if. On my new to-dos, I have buy a book from Indigo. I have a gift card that I got for my birthday, and I want to buy a book so I can read it. Begin a Mind Palace, which I have done, but that's going to be something I don't ever really go into detail about here, because it's a Mind Palace, it's private, that sort of thing. Become coherent, add timestamps videos. I'm going to do that. Maintain focus on dailies, make new dailies, yes. Figure out which focuses are going to be. Absolutely. Okay, so this is what I call charting a course. These are my focuses, which is why I clicked that off. It's essentially Java, PHP, reading, World of Warcraft, and finances. I'm going to fill out all this today, but essentially this entire first column is what I'm going to call the first leg. It's like the first leg of a race, the first leg of anything. And what that means is once I finish up all these things, and I do have something left over, I can focus my time and attention on something else. So let's say I finish all of my Java things. That means I can focus on my PHP stuff. And I finish all my PHP stuff, I can focus on my reading. If I focus on my reading, then I can work on this, etc. And after the entire first leg is done, then I'll make a new leg. As for the rules, I have designed a few more game rules. They're very, very simple. Rules version 1.0. At least this is day 5 to day 10 or more. But the minimum requirement is that I must play by these rules for at least 5 days. The commandments, same things I said in the first video, and the experimental rules that I came up with over the last few days of experience. Make daily and tasks more specific.
Vagueness makes it easier to cheat and harder to imagine an endpoint, which is very important for motivation and sustaining motivation. Um, Complete dailies as soon as possible, which leaves time for to-dos because dailies are always more bullet pointish. They're more right to an end, and to-dos are, as I said before, a bit more open-ended. So I need to leave time for those. Anyways, time to get started. Anyways, okay, let's make this quick. I have finished everything. I finished my PHP dailies. I finished my Java dailies, computer science concepts, and reading. I've not gone outside for an hour or determined my dailies for tomorrow. Number one, reading. This was this article that I really enjoyed. Um, it grabbed my attention because what's the best programming language to learn in 2016? Very relevant to what I'm doing at the moment. Um, it up there. I'm glad to see Java's up there, but what this guy essentially says is that they're very arbitrary. Some list change is highly subjective. It's not based on any particular standards. Some of them are most wanted or most hired. Some encompass more things. Java's up there because it encompasses like a lot of the basics of object-oriented programming, that sort of thing. And another reason I really like this article was this part. Can you become a developer? Absolutely, but relatively few people will. If the job was easy, developer demand would never exceed supply. But if you look at any chart, yeah. However, I do not believe developers are born with the innate coding skills. Anyone can learn to program, just like anyone can learn to play the guitar or speak Japanese, if they're prepared to put the effort in. I like that. I like that because that is totally where I'm at the moment. And then the second part, can I become a great coder? And yes, in time, the best coders go through several phases on their programming journey. I'm either at the first phase or the fourth phase. I don't think I've gone through the invincible phase yet. I think I'm at number one. I know nothing, but I am starting to transition to it's starting to make sense. The more I learn on my own accord, these various concepts of computer science, like XML, like mySQL, and finding what these normal people, not professors, are saying about like what does it mean? What are these used for? And where can you go to learn about these things? The more I appreciate programming, and I think I don't know, I really enjoy it, and a lot of it seems to say that if you enjoy it, that's what matters. It's more than enjoying it. It's putting aside the time to want to understand. And I'm not sure if I've said this before, but my end goal is to create because I have a complex that says since I cannot draw, I am an okay writer, like just like actual words, but what I want to create are programs, and I think I want to be able to create. I want to be able to manipulate and pull things. I want to be able to put code onto a screen and design things. It's this need I have. If you can't see already, it's very autistic is a word for it. But that's not meant to be an offensive term. It's just like I have a better time dealing with concepts than I do with people. Anyways, a really, really, really good introduction to XML. I haven't read the entire thing, but I need to read the entire thing because I think this is how I'm going to start. XML, okay, well, just go to this. Start wrapping it up. Got my reading done. What is XML? What is mySQL? What is XML? It's extensive markup language. It's a way of describing and organizing information that can then be tailored. You can create your own custom tags, sort of like unlike HTML where they have your own tags, and then how your web page deals with those tags is essentially one aspect of XML. To say what it entirely is, I'm not too sure. What is MySQL? They are relational databases. Everything is done in SQL. Everything relating to storing data on servers or something else. Most programming languages have an API that kind of ties in with MySQL, if I understand it. And yeah, I can't wait to tackle that after I have learned a bit more PHP, which implements both XML and MySQL. Those both come into play in web development. Creating Java Daily. This is my Quizlet. It's flashcards, very good stuff. It's fun. It's interesting. It's an easy way to study. You just have to like flip flashcards, and I think some of my dailies are just going to be flipping flashcards for like an hour on end, just memorizing, like raw, blunt, brute force memorization. That's Java Daily. PHP Daily, I wrote that all here. PHP's data types, which are strings, integers, floats, booleans, arrays, objects, just like an object-oriented programming. Null, which is null resource, I don't know anything about yet. Strings, the string page on the W3 School website is just a bunch of methods for strings. Constants, they can be defined within a script and then accessed within a function because they're global, and they have their own special syntax for declaring constants. Operators, same thing for Java, same things, and or XOR is a new one. I don't think they have that in Java. But what they do have here are array operators. I don't know if Java has those, but those look pretty cool, and I can't wait to use them. Flow control, pretty much the exact same syntax as Java. So that is my PHP daily done and over with. I have just ranked up a level. I actually got rewards for that, like a wolf egg, like an egg with a wolf in it. But I can't look at that yet, and I redid it because stuff and things. I haven't finished trying my first leg, but what that means is I can wind down for the night. I can go outside for an hour, turn my dailies, but this is going to be the end of the video. See you all tomorrow.